Have you ever scrubbed your toilet down to pure white, turned your back, and 2 days later that stubborn mineral ring is already creeping back? You buy the blue bottle, the green bottle, and nothing works? You feel like the house is winning, and you are losing. My name is Yoder Lucky, and today I'm going to show you why those expensive chemicals are a scam and how a plain $1 roll of aluminum foil from your kitchen drawer can solve it. Hit that like and subscribe button right now because the old ways are about to save your home and your wallet. Have you ever sat in the quiet of your own home and realized your house is slowly winning a battle against you? There's a very specific, irritating clatter when a child drops a loose toilet lid, a stubborn orange ring that creeps back onto the porcelain just 2 days after you scrubbed it raw, and a bar of soap melting into a sad puddle of its own slime. You buy the blue bottle, the green bottle, and the one with the curved neck promising miracles, yet the stains return like they were just waiting for you to turn your back. My name is Yoder Lucky. I manage a bustling household here with my family, and over the years, I've learned that these modern chemical bottles are rarely the real answer. If you are tired of throwing hard earned money down the drain and want to rediscover the practical, honest wisdom of those who managed beautiful homes long before cleaning aisles existed, you are in the right place. I share these traditional, time tested home saving methods every single week. Before we dive into the kitchen drawer for today's secret tool, take a quick second to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. By joining our community here, you won't miss a single piece of practical heritage wisdom, and it helps ensure these old ways aren't forgotten by the modern world. Let's be honest from the start. A video is going around claiming that dropping foil balls into your toilet tank keeps it clean by some quiet magic. That is complete foolishness. Those balls break apart, foul up your flapper valve, and void your manufacturer's warranty. I'd rather tell you the plain truth and earn your long-term trust than sell you a cheap internet trick that wastes your afternoon. To defeat the enemy in your bathroom, you must first understand exactly what it is. That stubborn ring mocking you from the porcelain bowl is not actually dirt. You can scrub it until your wrists ache as if it were mud or grime, but it will simply sit there and laugh at you. That crust is a physical accumulation of mineral lime, calcium, and iron carried inside the water itself. It settles out and hardens onto the surface in the exact same manner that scale builds up inside an old copper tea kettle that has been boiled 1,000 times. My grandmother understood this deeply without ever opening a chemistry textbook. She spent her entire life managing a household with hard well water, watching it slowly crust the interiors of every basin, pot, and iron kettle she owned. She used to tell us that the water wasn't dirty. It was simply full. It was full of the deep ground it had been pumped up through and full of the ancient stone it had passed over on its journey to the surface. You cannot simply wash away something that is full. Standard washing is designed for grease and dust that sits loosely on top of a surface. This mineral scale, however, fuses itself directly into the material. To break its hold, you have to disrupt its physical grip gently, a little bit at a time. And you must stay ahead of the buildup rather than waiting until it has dug into the porcelain for a decade. This is where a simple, inexpensive tool comes into play. But we must be precise about where it helps and where it fails, because an exaggerated promise only destroys the trust between us. The miraculous tool has been sitting quietly in your kitchen utility drawer this entire time. A plain roll of standard aluminum foil that you can buy at any local dollar store. While dry foil cannot dissolve a thick, decades-old mineral crust, which requires an acidic soak, it is absolutely unmatched at preventing new buildup on faucet bases, fixture lips, and metallic rims where that white chalky film first rears its head. The physics behind this trick are incredibly simple yet effective. Aluminum foil is physically softer than porcelain and chrome plating, meaning it will never scratch your expensive fixtures the way harsh steel wool or abrasive green pads do. However, the foil is just slightly harder than the thin layer of mineral scale sitting on top of them. Therefore, it shears the scale away while leaving the beautiful underlying surface completely untouched. You simply tear off a piece the size of your palm, crumple it loosely so it develops ridges and sharp points, dampen it under the tap, and work it in gentle circles. Beyond faucets, foil can bring an entire drawer of tarnished family silverware back to life in minutes. By lining a wash basin with foil, laying your silver flat so it touches the aluminum, and pouring over boiling water stirred with a heaping spoonful of washing soda. An immediate chemical reaction takes place. The dark sulfur tarnish literally lifts off the silver and transfers to the foil because the aluminum has a stronger chemical affinity for it. It requires zero manual scrubbing. Furthermore, you can use small folded pads of foil tucked under loose toilet hinges to instantly quiet a rattling lid, or line your soap dish with a ridged piece of foil to elevate the bar out of standing water, doubling its lifespan and saving real money. If you take a slow walk down the cleaning aisle of any giant supermarket today, I want you to stop and actually count the individual bottles. There's a specific bottle for the toilet rim, a separate one for the glass, one for the tile, another for the chrome, and yet another for the kitchen counters. If you turn those heavy plastic containers around and carefully read the microscopic print on the back labels, you will discover a corporate secret. They are almost all the exact same cheap chemical formulations, merely dressed up in vibrant artificial colors, given distinct synthetic fragrances, and slapped with different price tags. The mega corporations that manufacture these liquids and the retail chains that stock them profit immensely when they convince you that a household requires 12 separate specialized chemical solutions for 12 basic jobs. This is work that a single dollar roll of foil, a box of baking soda, and a modest amount of patience could easily handle. I don't say this to imply there is a secret room somewhere where wicked executives sit around a long table plotting to keep you ignorant. It is actually much worse than a grand conspiracy. It is an automated economic system that nobody has to actively coordinate. No one explicitly planned for you to forget the manual wisdom your great grandmother practiced daily. It simply slipped away, a tiny bit at a time over the last century, as plastic bottles became cheaper to mass produce and easier to market. The systematic forgetting of self reliance is the real product they are selling you. The only way to reclaim that independence is the slow way, one household at a time, through deliberate remembrance. It is one thing to sit comfortably in an armchair watching a person on a digital screen lift the dark tarnish off an old spoon, thinking to yourself how neat a trick that is. It is an entirely different experience to stand at your own kitchen basin, execute it successfully with your own two hands, and then carry that momentum forward to the next household task, week after week. True home economics isn't about a single clever trick. It is about establishing a completely different rhythm for how your household is run, backed up by a growing savings ledger. That long-term consistency is exactly why we emphasize communal effort. The initial excitement of watching a video eventually wears off, and the mundane, ordinary days of chores always return. To keep each other accountable and motivated, we rely on sharing our real-world experiences. The old ways only provide a benefit if you actually get up and put them into physical practice. As we wrap up today's session, I have a genuine curiosity about the specific homes you all are working so hard to keep. I want you to go examine your own water fixtures right now. Look closely at the crust on your faucets or the scale inside your kettle, and then come back to the comment section below to share two specific details: the county you live in and the approximate age of your house. Hard water behaves differently from one geographical region to the next, and older plumbing systems handle mineral loads quite differently than modern PVC pipes. I read every single comment left down there because it teaches me regional nuances I could never learn staying in my own kitchen. Let's keep this ancient knowledge alive together.